Hey guys, well, my softboxes finally came in, but the asshole that packed them basically glued the shipping bags to the softbox umbrellas, or the material. So I've got to carefully try to separate the two. It's wound up like a candy cane, and instead of being careful, they just slapped it all together. So I've got all this big sticky mess to get out of there. And then I'm off to a meeting for a new wedding client, and we'll see what else happens. Well, luckily all the tape and glue and mess, the stuff is pretty much like duct tape, was on these protective sleeves or storage containers for the actual soft boxes. Now I got these specifically for portability, and so far I really like everything about them except one thing, but I'm not complaining because it is the design of them. I just didn't really think about it too much before I bought them because I wasn't sure, but it'll work. So basically they open up like umbrellas. That's what makes these kinds of things so nice, as opposed to the kind that are always built. This is a traditional, it's called an octabox because there are 8 sides, but it works the same as any kind of soft box. And you can see the ribs go through there. And you basically build this like an old school tent. You have to feed the ribs through the material and, steady them into that center ring. It's called a speed ring, one at a time. And it's a pain in the ass because it likes to fall apart, and it takes 2 people to really do it quickly. But they take time to set up and take down, as opposed to an umbrella, which you see there, which is the shape of an umbrella. And they just pop open and close, and it's really simple. So they make folding modifiers, and this is what this folding softbox looks like. And this is different from a regular one, which I have in here. Now these are on my big studio lights, and the main difference is these big studio lights have that speed ring, which is a big metal disc on the back, and that allows you to physically mount it to big sturdy studio lights like this, because these units are big and they're heavy and they need that ring for support. But for speed lights or the little camera flashes, you can't use that kind of thing because they can't support any weight. These speed lights, you can't mount anything heavy to them whatsoever. There's no support for something like that. These are meant to mount on things. So here I have the flash mounted to the same setup that I already created. I've got my portable reversing light stands, which are totally awesome. And then this softbox is specifically made for this kind of setup. So what we have, instead of a speed light, which would be back on that end, because we're looking at the front of it here, this is basically built just like an umbrella. So it folds open and shut, and the whole thing collapses down right like that, in 2 seconds. And then I told you earlier, this is a flash mount, but it's also called an umbrella holder, and this is exactly why, because it gives you this hole right here that you can put the shaft through for any kind of umbrella device. So I've got it mounted here, and I can tighten or loosen this to do a tilt, but that's the only thing that causes a little bit of a problem. These they tilt back just fine, but they do not tilt forward, because you can see you're limited here in the amount of space you have, because the light stand goes through this zippered space here, and you just close it up from the outside, and that allows you to put the flash inside the softbox, which is obviously necessary. So the flash just bounces all around this reflective material, and then you have this diffuser that velcros to the front. Super fast, super easy, very good size. It's 2 foot by 2 foot, extremely lightweight, weighs basically nothing. Breakdown and setup is just seconds, and that's exactly what I wanted. So that gives you, instead of a little flash this size, a 2 by 2 foot flash. Much, much, much softer light whenever you can use it. These are not for outdoor use without an assistant holding it. Finally back home. It's 5:30. That's been a long day. There's a lot of traffic out there. This is like the worst time to be driving through Tampa, but that's when the client needed to meet. A little bit of a snafu there. I got there 20 minutes early, which is my usual. Appointment was for 3, and I confirmed last night, and she acknowledged, okay, she set the time, so, it's supposed to be 3 o'clock downtown Tampa. So, okay, 3 rolls around, nothing. Okay, give it a few minutes. 5 after, 10 after, 15 after. Okay, what's going on? I finally get a hold of her, and she's still down the street in the hotel. They thought it was 4 o'clock. So, shit happens. It was about 3:45 till they ended up getting there because they went to the wrong Starbucks. But anyway, it was a really good meeting, and it's going to be a wedding in May at the Florida Aquarium. Beautiful venue. And they're a cool-looking couple, and should be fun. So I need to get some groceries. I need to eat. I haven't even had lunch today yet. And I think I'm going to go to Sam's Club, get some other supplies and whatnot. And I might do a walker ride later on. It's almost sunset out, so we'll see. Anyway, that's it for today. See you tomorrow.